Are you ready? All right, I'd like to call tonight's board meeting to order, so please join me for opening exercises, pledge by a moment. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Stacey, would you call the roll, please?
Sure. John Cassiano.
Here.
Willard Delaker.
Here.
Joseph Batzinger. Todd Hernandez.
Here.
Becky Height. Here. Lauren Hunsiker. Here. Todd Weiser.
Here.
Rachel Scheffler. Jennifer Cenobitis. Here.
I believe Joe is on the phone.
He's not on yet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, looking for approval of the agenda tonight.
Second.
Mr. Barker and Mrs. Cenobitis. Any additional comments or questions?
The only two comments I told the board on Friday were we did, add the bus stops, but they are in admin content, I believe it was yesterday.
Okay, all right, we have motion second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, thank you. All right, I'd like to welcome all that are here. Courtesy of the floor, I see none. We'll move right along. Minutes. We have last June's minutes and the August workshop meeting minutes as well. So, Mr. Delaker,
Second.
Dr. Hunsiker, any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. Okay, recognitions, presentations, none. President report, I have nothing tonight, thank you. Superintendent's report.
Sure, I have a few things. So tonight is the exciting night. All of those who are parents might want to silence their phone because at 7:30 they will get the message from me that will welcome all parents back and give them a few pieces of information that will launch tonight. I did also include a link to our kindergarten video. So if you didn't get it, we did ask parents to go ahead and share that. And the most important piece of information that the portal will open with all of the information, students, teachers, homeroom teachers, as well as transportation tomorrow at 8 a.m. We have exciting information about the middle school in there. I know Mr. DeVico is here tonight and he might want to share some more of information, but we did include in there about the energy savings project as well as the HVAC and the classroom updates. I'm pleased to report, for those who did take the tour when it didn't look so hot, it is coming together very, very nicely. So all of the contractors, McClure, Butts, certainly kudos to all of the middle school team and all of our district-wide custodians it is looking like a school and we are ready to welcome kiddos back, and our custodians, I know district-wide, we're all kind of moved to the middle school to kind of trail the contractors and make sure the middle school was done. There are a few things, certainly punch lists and things that are on back order, but it is going to be ready for school and it looks like a school again for sure. So we're glad for the upgrades and the energy savings as well. I did put a reminder in the information about our elementary schedule change. Reminder, this is our first year for elementary schedule change, so I did put that reminder in the back to school, as well as two important updates. We are moving to a Sapphire notification system. If you recall, we used to use Blackboard that didn't communicate well with Sapphire. We are moving to Sapphire so that we can better communicate with families and launch specific messages to specific groups, whether that be by sports teams or school buses, and better improve our communication. So make sure when you get the information, your emails and your phone numbers are updated in Sapphire. This is all in the parent message, as well as moving to School Cafe, which is a new payment system. I know there were some questions earlier in the week. All of the information from your old system, whether there was a balance, negative or positive, as well as student information, was all transitioned seamlessly to the new School Cafe, which is where you'll make your online payment systems. Also, since our last board meeting, the state got approval that we will also be offering free breakfast. Dr. Simic might mention this later. And so that is I believe a good highlight for our students that they were looking forward to. As the board has heard many times, but is also in our message this evening, we are very tight in transportation. We are sending the opt-out message and hoping that some parents will opt out, but we are very, very tight in transportation in terms of number of drivers for numbers of routes. We did, this past Monday, the board knows that we contracted with First Student for some management assistance. So I'm happy to report that Mr. David Staples from First Student is helping us out in transportation, at least until we receive a release date for our Director of Operations. So he is here. He met with our new staff on Monday and has spent a great deal of time with Dr. Sosnowick and our transportation team. And so he is here to kind of start us off for the school year, just a couple days a week. Last but not least, 3 of our board members have certificates in front of them, Mr. Cassiano, Mr. Fatzinger, who's not here this evening, and Mr. Leiser. So I would just like to recognize them. So on behalf of the Pennsylvania School Boards Association, there are 3 school board members that are being recognized for their years of dedication to the Northwestern Lehigh School District. For almost 40 years, PSBA has been acknowledging the contributions of dedicated local school directors for long-term service. This is an honor roll and an association's way of thanking the individuals who display exemplary leadership by giving unselfishly of their time and talents for the betterment of public schools across the Commonwealth. So when school directors, such as the 3 I mentioned, receive and reach 8 years of service, they have other milestones. I believe Mr. Deliker and Mr. Hernandez have been recognized in the past. They are presented with an honor roll certificate and for every 4 years thereafter. So tonight I'm pleased to recognize Mr. Cassiano, Mr. Fatzinger, who's not here with us this evening, and Mr. Leiser for their dedicated 8 years of service. And thank you for all that you've done. If one of you could show your certificate. You both have them.
I'll yield the podium to you, you can give your speech.
Are you doing an
I
acceptance
didn't
speech?
prepare one.
So, but last but not least, in all sincerity, thank you for your service. It is a tough job, but you make lots of tough decisions, and certainly support the administration, support the teachers, staff, and students. So thank you. And I don't have anything further, but if you have any questions, I'll gladly take them. Thank you.
So then we'll move forward. Okay, personnel action, 2.01, personnel agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. There's 7 pages of personnel action tonight. I believe of over 50 items. It's been a little bit busy this summer. The items highlighted in yellow have been posted have been added since the agenda was posted on Friday. They are our usual business items, adding staff, removing staff, and we continue to look for bus drivers, as Mrs. Holman said, and instructional assistants. I hope to have more of them in the future. I do ask for your approval on them tonight. I do know there will be some abstentions for Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Deliker.
Okay, let's see.
Any
then we-
questions?
Do you motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to
Dr.
accept.
Hunsaker,
Second.
and second by Ms. Height.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to get Joe on board.
That's right. Dr. Hunsaker, and then Ms. Height.
Okay.
Okay.
Joe's having difficulty logging. I'm trying to get on. Sorry.
So we do have a motion and a second. Does anybody have any additional comments or questions?
Do we have to approve the substitute list every year?
We do.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah, that was a change a few years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
We do have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And we have 2 abstentions,
Thank you.
Mr. Deliker and Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item, curriculum, right, yes. Attendance officers, 3.01.
This is not new. These 2 items are both from the workshop meeting. So the attendance officers is a traditional item to have our attendance officers vetted. Center for Music Change is our agreement with, for our student assistance program, our SAP program, also the same provider we've used for many, many years. No changes to either agreement, but if you have any questions, we'll certainly take them.
All right, these were both vetted at the workshop meeting, so we can take them in consent if everybody is in agreement. So looking for a motion.
So moved.
Dr. Hunsaker,
Second.
second, and Mrs. Stenvitis. Any additional comments, questions? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Thank you. So moving to policy, first reading.
Okay, thank you, I'll take that. There are 2 policies for the board's consideration tonight. Policy 707, use of school facilities. We'll start with this one. This policy makes school facilities available to organizations provided that use does not interfere with our educational program of our schools. The policy was first established in 1994, and there have been minor updates of this policy using that base PSBA template. The current PSBA recommended policy is structured to the extent that although most of the Northwestern language remained the same, the changes were significant enough to warrant a full rewrite. That's why it's all in green. Similar to the previous policy, it defines 4 different group organizations, a corresponding fee structure, and an application process. New to the policy are clear, more well-defined prohibited activities, violations, and limitations. Finally, the fees for group 3 and 4 have been adjusted to capture increased costs using the facilities and staff needed for the events. Mr. Zimmerman was actively involved in the rewrite as he oversees our use of facilities. And this policy also has been reviewed by our 2 solicitors here this evening. Be glad to take any questions or comments as well as Mr. Zimmerman.
All right, so seeing none, do you want to talk about the
Yeah,
second one?
absolutely. All right, so the next one is policy 913. So policy 913 authorizes the dissemination of non-school materials. What that means is basically materials that are not prepared as part of the curricular or approved extracurricular program of the district. As defined in the current policy, non-school organizations, groups, and individuals are entities that are not part of the school program, school-sponsored activities, or organized pursuant to Pennsylvania School Code. I just want to be clear and put PI, PTO, and Foundation at ease that we believe this policy does not apply to them, so their approval process will not change. Changes to this policy place limitations on those who are permitted to disseminate information and how it can be disseminated. For example, non-school materials are limited to posting to a designated section of the website, which we have always done. Our staff intranet, which would be something new, which we've created, they'll have the ability to do so. Staff email and handing out flyers during our open houses. It also is limited to those entities that have a physical address within a district boundary. The purpose of these changes is to better define a process for managing all these requests we received. To give the board kind of an example, we received probably dozens, right, Stace, dozens of requests a year from organizations that within our bounds to throughout the state, throughout the nation, to try to capture our audience. So we have a captive audience of staff and students and parents, and so people try to leverage that. So this is really to help us manage those requests each year while still maintaining a viewpoint neutral approach. Similar to this previous policy I just mentioned, this policy too has been reviewed by our solicitor. I'll take any questions or comments you may have on this one as well.
Okay, this is the first reading, so we will take no action. It'll just be on display for 30 days until the next meeting when we will look for approval. Okay, we do not have any second readings or approvals for policies, and there are no policies listed to be rescinded today. So we'll move into operations, 5.01 bus stops.
Gladly take this. So each year we bring the bus stops for the board's approval. The bus stops are listed underneath administrative content that you would see when you log into the board docs. We don't list them publicly for security reasons. This is an annual recurring item that we ask for the board approval on.
Okay, we need to take action on this one, so I'll look for a motion.
So-
This is Cenovitis.
Second.
Second? Who's the second?
It's me.
Oh, that was you. All right, so it was,
He's first.
all right, Mr. Delapierre was first and Ms. Cenovitis second. Thank you. Any comments or questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, nice have it. Thank you.
Joseph.
Good.
You know what?
Okay, 5.02, we'll take, we did vet the next two items, but we'll take them separately. if you don't mind. So 5.02, adult lunch prices.
Yes, as discussed at the workshop, the Division of Food and Nutrition requires that the adult lunch price be a certain threshold above the highest student price in the district. When we brought this change before, in June, that price was adjusted by them. This just is to allow us to maintain compliance. I think we increased it another like 3 or 5 cents. So it's still an unbelievable deal for anybody who buys lunch. Your $4.50, what you get is crazy. So we ask for your approval, please.
Okay, thank you. Looking for a motion.
Motion.
Ms. Height, second.
Second.
Mr. Cassiano, any comments, questions? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. 5.03, McClure scope change, number 5, request change number 5.
This was also reviewed at the workshop meeting. This is the moisture control mitigation for McClure for a cost of $100,000, change order modification number 5. If anybody has any questions, I will say this is all installed in all of the classrooms, and the flooring is down in all of the classrooms on top of the moisture in the middle school.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Counselor, a second.
Second.
Ms. Height, any comments or questions on this item?
I just want to say again, this was a well done for the whole staff. Everybody was involved with not only getting the materials in on time and installed on time, which was a significant task, but also the cost was brought down significantly by our own people with this change order. So kudos and thank yous to everybody that was involved with this.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion second. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. So we'll move to district finances, 6.01, agreement in lieu of fate.
That's the waiver of faith we discussed last week. There's no financial obligations for this waiver. We will continue to work with the family to educate the child, and all the terms and conditions are listed within that agreement. But again, no financial obligation at this time.
Okay, looking for a motion? Mr. Gallagher?
Second.
Second, Mr. Lizer. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Okay, ayes have it. Thank you. I'll slow down next. 6.02, Astor Event Center at Hyatt Place 2024 prom agreement.
Correct. This is the agreement we just received for prom for this current school year. All the costs will be paid out of the class of 2024's student activity. So there's no cost to the district.
Okay, nice. New venue this year, I see.
Yes.
Okay, looking for a motion?
So moved.
Mrs. Servitis, any second?
Second.
Mrs. Height, comments or questions? All right, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? 6.03, addendum to Edmonton agreement approved in June 2023.
Yes, I'll take this one. You did already approve the Edmentum agreement back this sometime this spring, either in May or June. However, this is an addendum to that agreement to provide some additional courses to our existing options for our students. And this one uses Ed Options, which is a slightly different provider through Edmentum.
Okay, thank you. So then we'll look for a motion in a second.
So moved.
Dr. Hansinger, second. Second. Mr. Gallagher, any comments or questions on this addendum? Okay, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no? Okay, thank you. Okay, moving into the Next section, is there any that we should probably take separate?
You don't have to take it separate, but I do believe Mrs. Stitzel has a comment on 607. They made us break out the professional development, but it's a minimal change.
Okay.
You can do consent, just.
609, maybe?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll read these off, and these were vetted at the workshop meeting 2 weeks ago, so we'll take them in consent. I'll read them off. 6.04, River Rock Academy approval. 6.05, Whitehall Copley agreement. 6.06, Behavioral Health Associates. 6.07, Amplify My Class Dibbles, or Dibbles, I'm not sure. 8th edition. 6.08, CLIU 21, Title I Equitable Services Agreement. And 6.09, Community Education Classes. So we'll take a motion in a second, and then we'll open it up for comments or questions.
Motion to approve 604 to 609.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gallagher.
Mrs. Stitzel, do you want to make the comment about 6.07?
Sure. I just want to alert everyone that there is a slight change to that Amplify agreement. It reflects a change in the professional development, moving from 2 full-day sessions to 4 half-day sessions, and that is it. Everything else is the same.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions or comments on any of the items? Okay, we do have a motion in a second, so all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? All right, motion carried. Thank you. So 6.10, reports.
Nothing has changed since workshop. If anyone has any questions.
Okay, looking for a motion then?
So moved.
Mrs. Sanovitis, a second?
Second.
Dr. Hunsinger, does anybody have any questions or comments on the reports from the last 2 months? Nope. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? Okay, thank you. Moving on, 6.11, the bills.
Bills, 3 months of bills. If anyone has any questions, there's nothing out of the ordinary from prior years.
Okay. Looking for a motion.
Motion to move. Go ahead, John.
Mr. Cassiano, second. All right, Mr. Eliza. Anybody have comments or questions on these? Seeing none, all those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Okay, other reports, 7.01, Foundation. We're moving along tonight.
Yes, thank you. The foundation recently held its annual golf tournament last Friday. There were, as I understand, a record number of paying players. So that was very positive news from that event. And one of their other major events coming up is their annual clay shoot in October. That is Saturday, October 22nd at Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, and you can register for that on their website. Lastly, there are some Tiger takeovers that you need to be aware of. One is Thursday, August 24th at Old Homestead Cafe. You need to just mention the foundation and they will receive 10% of your bill. And lastly, Thunderhead Lodge will be Thursday, September 28th.
All right, thank you. 7.02, committee reports. The intermediate unit.
That's me. So we met on July 17th. They had a golf outing, also 90 golfers, and raised $9,500, which I guess last year went to an emotional support dog. So they do have that at one of their learning centers. And Dr. Gregory Kuhn started the 13th of August. He replaces Dr. I, who retired.
Let's
Okay.
just,
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Where did he come from?
Schuylkill Intermediate.
Yeah, another intermediate.
Yeah, Schuylkill, I just showed on the on.
Okay, thank you. LCTI.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, thanks. L-Tri-C, we do have some updates there for you to read. Rec Commission, that'll be me. Night in the country, this Saturday, cow flop.
Again?
Yes.
Every year.
Every
Are we
year.
back? This has been 1 year since the last pop up.
Yes.
Time flies, guys.
So yes, Night in the Country, everything, I'll also comment, we are moving forward, with the pickleball courts and redoing some equipment for the skate park. They will be right next to each other. If you're familiar with the park, they're right when you enter on the left-hand side. So we'll be looking to upgrade and add those. And then, the basketball courts were still, I haven't been over to the fields. They were supposed to have been redone a year ago. They got delayed. They're supposed to have been worked on earlier in August. I'm not sure if they were complete, if anybody might have seen that, but that is on our agenda.
And the forecast looks great, 77 degrees, generally sunny despite a few afternoon clouds.
All right, and I believe it is 4 to 10 is the event, so that's all I have for records. Thank you. So we'll move forward. Old business. Does anybody have old business for tonight? Seeing none, we'll move into new business. Is there any new business items to bring forward? All right, seeing none, we'll move to communications, 10.01, courtesy of the floor. Everyone joining us tonight, thank you. 10.02, communications, secretary.
At this time.
Nothing tonight. 10.03, administrative and building sharing.
Sure, we'll start with our folks online. Mrs. Yadish.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to say that we're ready for students and staff to return to the high school. We've been working really hard to prepare for them and looking forward to everyone's return. So I hope everyone had a great summer and please have a great start to the school year. Thank you.
Mrs. Burlett.
Good evening. I just want to give a shout out to our custodial staff and to our office staff for the hard work throughout the summer. The building's looking great. We are preparing for the students to come back. We are ready. The teachers have been in preparing their classrooms, working on curriculum discussions. The energy in the building is increasing each and every day, and we are excited to begin the school year. Thank you.
Ms. Stitzel.
The only thing I really have tonight is that I want to welcome all the new staff that have started this past week. So I think we have a really good crew and can't wait for everyone else to come back next week.
And then Mr. Gibler.
Good evening, members of the board, administrative staff, and those joining in the boardroom. Just excited to finish up the summer, get the school year underway. Our first big event, August 23rd, with our incoming 9th grade class. So it'll be the first time we welcome the freshmen into the building as a group, and we couldn't be more happy. Other than that, big ditto and thank you to the custodial staff over the summer. You know, getting to spend some time with them in the hallways and making sure that they have what they need to do the excellent job that they do was a highlight of my summer as well. So thank you to them, and a big welcome to everyone coming on board for the 23-24 school year. Thank you.
All right, that brings us inside.
I'll go. Same, the building looks great. We're very excited to have students and staff return. We do have kindergarten orientation coming up at both Weisenberg and Northwestern Elementary. So we're very excited to welcome our newest Tigers to the district. And then we also have open house next Wednesday evening for all students. So we're just really excited to kick off the start of the year.
Good evening. Well, first I want to just mention a couple things about the construction project at the middle school with Art leaving, the director of operations leaving for Parkland. Jen and Troy have done a nice job of really leading that charge. Without them, I don't think it would have been as successful as it has been over the summer. And secondly, the maintenance and custodial staff. I think I say this every year around this time, is that they do an excellent job of preparing the school. Not only the middle school staff, but district-wide custodial and maintenance staff have come up and really just, as soon as the contractors left, they're working their way in and cleaning in some cases 2-3 times before everything was wiped down and clean. And when we basically sealed it like a tomb, do not enter. So we are nearing completion of that, wrapping up the big stuff. And as Jen said, we have a lot of punch list items to do, but we'll be up and running on the 21st with staff and the 28th with students, and we'll complete a lot of those little things that need to be finished as the school year starts. But overall, we'll be ready to go. So I thank Jen and Troy and maintenance and custodial staff for job well done all summer. Secondly, we have 6th grade orientation. We're welcoming 6th grade into the building along with any new students on the 23rd. We'll do an orientation that day. And then we do our parent information night pretty quickly as the school year starts. So August 30th at 6:30, we'll have our parent information night, invite families into the school to meet their teacher, kids' teachers, learn about expectations for the middle school, and hopefully get the families and the kids off to a really good start. So thank you, and we're looking forward to a really good school year.
I want to give a public thank you to Candy Swell, one of our school psychologists, and Kelsey Schultz, our other school psychologist that was previously contracted with us. They've worked really hard all summer to continue to test students and keep us abreast of all of our evaluations, in addition to mentoring our new school psychologist, Casey Craddock. She started this week, so we're excited to have her. I'm looking forward to starting the year. I'll say fully staffed for now.
In your department.
Well, not really, because we're downspeech, but.
That's right.
So, yeah, we're still psychologists right now.
I just want to thank the administrators for working so hard to fill all the positions and doing all the interviewing and getting the information to the HR department so that you can approve all of them this evening. We did hire 7 really great teachers that started on Monday. I'm excited about that. We have 2 positions open yet. One is a long-term sub and one is a contract position, both at the middle school. And I hope that we can bring those people forward at our next meeting. So we're off to a good start.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
Business office, we're getting ready for the audit. They will be here September 5th for the week, so.
The police are getting ready. We have our annual firearms training tomorrow at Honolulu, which are kind enough to let us borrow their range. The 2 new guys are really looking forward to getting started and getting to know the kids, so we're looking for a good year.
We're jumping. All the principals are in preparation mode. We started last Monday, and our second wave started this most recent Monday. So it's nice to have the kids back and a lot of participation out there. So hats off to the grounds and Jimmy Hawk and his crews for getting all the facilities ready. They were all prepared and kind of just putting fires out, throw ups on the track and things of that nature. So we're in good shape. Thank you. Looking forward to a good year.
That brings it to me. I'd like to echo all the thanks to all of the custodians, B&G maintenance, the summer help, transportation staff, and all the other support staff that really moved mountains this summer. They've accomplished a Herculean effort, getting everything ready for the start of school, and I think it's going to be a great start. We're very proud of them. Finally, I want to welcome all of our new staff, and especially our new Director of Ops, Sean McKenna. So thank you for approving that tonight. Looking forward to his arrival.
Bill talked a little bit about the middle school, Bill being organized and flexible and adaptable around schedules and people saying, their stuff is here. Can we install it now? And Bill working around that all summer and moving his entire office to be able to be relocated. Certainly, I thank you for thinking us, but you moved mountains to make sure you could move around contractors from 10 different companies and 2 different places and things arriving at all times. So Bill certainly had a large hand in how smoothly and holding people accountable to make sure the middle school was done in the time that it was done. I couldn't echo, you heard from all of our building principals and specifically what Dr. Sosnomic said, our custodians, you always think I'm not sure you're gonna get it done, particularly this year at the middle school. It was dirty, it was dusty, it was a full construction zone. And sometimes they did clean rooms multiple times and say, please don't anybody go in there, anything that was dirty. But across the district, they absolutely did a fantastic job. They came together, certainly work ethic and trying to say whatever it takes to get it done. They were here Saturdays, they were here to be able to not only clean, but in the middle school, locate and relocate furniture multiple times to do classrooms. And transportation, certainly with being without a director of ops, although Troy tried to fill in the best that he could. They certainly did a great job pulling together all the routes and trying to get everything ready for the same time frame, without, on-site director of operations and, leaning on Troy as much as they could. So we are ready, and thank you for everyone.
I'll go this way, this is first. So,
I'm happy to report that the Kings Pride foursome won the foundation golf tournament for the second year in a row. It's probably because neither
Sounds like a
myself or
flex.
Paige were on the team. But they were very excited and they always love the trophies.
Who was the team?
Kevin Reed, Rich Campbell, and then I don't know the other two. They were.
Ringers, they were ringers.
They were ringers. They were not us.
They were
So that's all that
somebody.
matters.
They played on the PGA tour.
Oh, nothing for me.
Just to like to wish the faculty, the entire faculty, a good luck for the upcoming school.
Just great job filling the positions with what you could over the year and the custodian staff and everything. So I'm sure the staff's ready to see the kids soon.
I echo what was said. Thank you for all the hard work. As someone who hired or interviewed all summer, I have a different appreciation for that. And thank you for all the staff they do, and here's to a great school year.
I want to wish everybody a good first day of school coming up soon. I also want to recognize some of the coaches and the kids for our, I think it was field hockey, boys and girls soccer. They ran some really nice cut camps. And I just like that they're able to mentor our younger Tiger students, and some of them weren't even, in our area. They came and they participated, which was really cool. So Mr. Zimmerman, you have a good crew. And you have some really good student athletes as well. And if I missed any other sports or any other extracurriculars that held camps, I'm sure that they were awesome too.
Yeah, this is always an exciting, sometimes stressful time of the year as everything's coming together in the final hour. And I even saw PennDOT working on the intersection this morning, which is better than August 28th.
PennDOT needs to do a little more work on that intersection.
But not like the middle school last year. Before school at that. But anyway, thank you for everybody's effort to pull this all together, and it just shows once again what an outstanding crew and staff and leadership we have here in the district. Thank you.
Yeah, I echo what Bill said. Also very happy to hear there's kids puking out on the track. That means our coaches are doing their job, getting those kids in shape. So love to hear that. But no, wish everybody the best for this kickoff of this school year.
Yep, the same. Thanks, everybody that got the schools ready for the year, and good luck to the students coming in. So thank you. Okay, so we'll move on. I'll read off the meeting announcements. And then I also will say, I don't believe it's on here, we do have an exec session following this meeting. So please do not leave right away. Okay, so we had a workshop meeting here August 2nd in the boardroom at 7. There was an exec session for personnel that was held right after the workshop meeting on August 2nd here in the boardroom as well. We have a workshop meeting coming up September 6th, 7 p.m. in the boardroom here, followed by an exec session for personnel as well on September 6th here in the board meeting following the workshop meeting. And then we will have a regular board meeting September 20th, 7 p.m. here in the boardroom. So like I said, please join us right after this for the exec session. So. Oh, Joe, sorry. Did you want to add anything for the board sharing? My apologies.
I threw my list away. We're fine.
I'm so sorry, Joe.
That's all right.
All right, well, thank you, and we'll catch you next time. Okay, so that takes us to adjournment. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mrs. Cenobitis,
Second.
second Dr. Hunsaker.
He's fast. Joe's fast.
It's like beating
Never get to do it when Joe's here. Joe's fast.